Coming to you live from Alola's Battle Royale Dome, it's the one, the only PUCL Battlecast.
Hello and welcome to the Battlecast in a special Friday edition. Hooray, this is the first. And we are on Battlecast number 38. I am your host, Seth Vilo, here with some brilliant minds to talk about all the cool things that have happened in the last month in the competitive battling world. So joining me this month, we've got the one, the only, the whale who wants to be free, Dr. Shamu.
Hello, hello.
And joining us for the first time, we've also got Mr. Sharkfinnigan. Say hello.
Hello. Glad to be here.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to have you on. You've been, all over the place in the tournament chats and the battling things, and we thought we would poke your brain for this special month topic with the month of April that we're going to talk about here in a little bit.
I'm excited for that.
Oh, yeah. It's a very valuable part of competitive battling, the sprites.
Exactly.
So what have you guys just kind of been up to? It's been a month, and I think it's been a while since you've been on, Shamu, I think. And Shark, you've obviously never been on. So what have you guys been up to, just kind of competitive battling online in general? Shamu, how about you?
Losing in draft.
Losing in draft.
I don't know what I expected. I felt like I had a shot earlier on, but now I'm like, I've lost. I was like the shortest match in the draft league, which I'll take that.
Really?
Yeah, 6 turns.
Yeah.
What?
You didn't watch it?
No, I've been a little bit behind.
It's a bit explosive.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, even every single one of Shamu's Pokemon exploded.
Including Wooloo.
Including
Wooloo. What? How does Wooloo explode? Does it have one of them?
Copycat is a wonderful move.
Oh my god. What am I... Okay, yeah, that... Wow, I need to watch these replays.
It's short. It's like, what, 9... Well, not 9 turns. It's like 6 turns still.
Yeah, it'll be fast.
8 Pokemon died. Maybe that'll be on the stream whenever that is next.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good.
That should be a highlight match.
That's a streamable match. Very short, to the point. Blow up your feed. Oh my gosh. How about you, Shark? Have you been exploding any Pokemon recently?
No, but I finally got a a much needed win last week in Draft League. I haven't been doing much better than Shamu myself. But luckily, I got to pull off Greedent Belly Drum off last week, which was fun.
Ooh.
Greedent's a dumb mod.
And
wow.
Otherwise, I've been doing a little bit of Little Cup. I've got a little team that I'm laddering with. I'm on the low 1300s at the moment with, so that's been fun to play around in. Yeah,
all 12 of you really like that Little Cup ladder. How high up is 1300 on that ladder?
It still hasn't cracked 500 yet. 500 is like 1450 is what I checked earlier today. So a little bit of climbing to go, but no. Yeah, but I'm using Mudbray, which is one of my favorites.
Oh. That makes sense. It's always fun using your favorites, honestly. When their favorites are good, it's always a good feeling.
Exactly. It's like whenever anyone tries to knock off your Evilae, it's like, well, I still have the same defense thanks to stamina here, so I'll just eat that hit. And
yeah.
Still hits freaking hard.
I think the most fun mod I found on Little Cup was Applin. That thing was actually like viable. Yeah, it shouldn't be, but it worked. It worked so well.
Huh.
Nice.
Well,
I'm gonna look that up. That gets bulletproof, right?
Yeah. Were you on that stream? I think it was one of the Showdown ones.
Yeah, I think that was what got my interest in doing Little Cup. It was we had
the community or the Patreon one for Little Cup when we did the Showdown streams, and that was on. I think the team I was laddering with at that time. It was just Applin. It was working. It was like catching people off guard. Sucker Punch. Like it
oh
worked.
Yeah.
You get Sucker Punch. You get Grassy Glide. You got Draco Meteor.
Oh my god, it does. That's all you need,
and
really.
it's actually defensive mon anyway, so
Yeah.
like, hey, it's solid.
I love that evolution line so much. All of them. All 3 members.
Yeah. They're very solid.
Appleton is by far my favorite, but oh my gosh, that whole family is fantastic.
Yeah. Next season, I'm going to try to make Appleton work. I wanted to use him this season, but I end up not having a good construction or the moves to get him. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's better in draft where you can't certain mons just shine better because you can't fully just prep for them in a way. It's like you're not dealing with 6 OU mons against a lower tier mon. You're dealing with like maybe 1 or 2 against others.
Yeah.
It's easier to pull stuff off like that because Appleton's biggest issue is just ice, even with sick fat.
Yeah.
But he's got some fun, like with his berry abilities, give some fun shenanigans.
You could
with
go
recycle.
wild there, yeah.
Still want to use
you can
something
totally pull stuff off.
Still want to use something like Roap Berry, which is basically like a Rocky helmet for like physical, and there's a special one, Jaboka, as well. With that and recycle and like ripen, it just it basically will take out about a quarter health, and you just recycle and just keep eating hits.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah,
I hate that a lot.
Especially if you it's like even if it's like something resistant too, it's even better at that point because you can just like boom. You just use that to pivot just to deal a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yuck. It's probably just physical moves. It doesn't have to be contact. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm theorizing at this point. I have no idea.
No, it's not. They're not contact, and there's a special berry too. So you can basically it'd be a special one.
Yeah.
You just have to pick which type you want to use that week, depending on what your opponent brings.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild. Maybe next season we'll fight over Appleton. That'll be what we do.
Exactly.
But anyway, we're gonna cut it there. I've not been doing anything. I've been doing kind of similar, where when it's my week, I've been losing at draft. So yay, Linian and I trade off, and I'm the one who racks up all of our losses. So
we fight next week.
Oh yes, y'all do.
Yes, we close.
Oh wait. No, I think it's Seth. This is your week, right?
It is my week this week, and I have to face Thatch.
I'm just saying that
you get
fight next week.
Yeah, you and Linian face next week.
Who said that has to be just Linian? I don't mind being a 2-on-1.
We'll both have a window open, and we'll just see who clicks the button fastest. Was that your move? Was that your move? Who knows?
That would be funny.
I've already prepped.
I bet you have.
If anything explodes, I'm going to be very upset.
It took me like 10 minutes.
It took me 10 minutes. Oh boy. Well, I look forward to it, but we're going to go ahead and cut it there. We're going to hop over from here, the little intro bit, to tier time, because there's been some interesting things that have happened this month. We'll see you on the other side.
It's tier time.
And welcome back to tier time. It has been a month, that is for sure. And I think this is the first time since the big DLC drop that a lot of things shifted tiers. This was the 3-month tier ship. So a lot of upward movement, downward movement, sideways movement, all that kind of stuff, and bans all around in reaction to a lot of those drops. So we're going to go through it. We're going to start at the top, as we always do. Shamu, tell me what's going on in Ubers.
So, goodbye Shadow Tag again.
Thank God.
Yeah, Shadow Tag's always been dumb. It's always been a dumb ability, and it's just... It sucks that some... Did Wobbuffet actually have another ability other than Shadow Tag?
Does what have it?
Wobbuffet?
I think it has Unnerve or something like that.
It does. It does have another ability.
Okay.
But it doesn't do anything without it.
It's not worth using. Yeah.
Its other ability is telepathy, so who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just looked it up.
I thought there might have been a casualty for something else. It's like, oh, that's kind of sad, but...
Yeah.
But Shadow Tag's gone. It's good. Shadow Tag has always been a very strong ability. Should not be there.
Mm-hmm.
But now that Shadow Tag's gone, there's a Calyrex Shadow Rider, and no one would have guessed it. Zacian hero form now is being looked at. Like, huh?
Yeah.
It's not like it could it's not like we didn't know it could run an item too. Like.
Yeah.
Like
when I was reading through it. Ooh.
Like. This was something I remember seeing videos on, like, immediately after, like, day one, pretty much, or not day one, but, like, within, like, the first months of stuff, like, hey, Zacian might just be better because, again, you can run Choice Band, you still get the ability, so you get a +1 and a Choice Band, or a Life Orb, and it just kind of, like, if I remember right too, the Zacian is like just a fairy type. So you don't get Behemoth Bash or
pure
whatever.
fairy.
Behemoth Slash or what? Behemoth Blade. That's what it was. Yeah. So you don't get that, sure, but do you really need it? Like, honestly, people might prefer the flinch chance.
It does lose a little bit of speed stats without having the sword attached, but the amount of power that you're getting from it, and without the extra steel weakness, is good, actually.
Like, you lose a little bit of speed, but then you can just run Scarf.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So like, it doesn't really... It makes it much scarier than the other one, because you don't know what it's gonna have. Like, if you see a Zacian crown, you're like, oh, it's a crown. Okay, it's just gonna have the sword. Cool. Like, but now it's just like, oh, you could have Scarf, you could have Band, you could have Life Orb, you could have a Sash, who knows? I think it would probably get Agility or something, too, if you really want to run a setup version.
I feel like it does. I think Zamazenta does.
So
yeah,
like,
I think it might, yeah.
It just makes it much scarier.
Yeah.
And then,
I think that mathematically, if it's holding a choice band, it's walking onto the field with 900 or something attack, essentially.
yeah, because
Which is
you're dealing with a
stupid.
+1 and then a 1.5. So yeah, it's gonna hit hard.
And I mean, it is still 138 speed, so that's stupid.
Yeah, it's still good enough
Like,
to
that
deal with a
outspeeds
lot of
Mewtwo.
things. You don't really need the speed at that point. Like,
Yeah.
there's something. I assume you're like getting outsped by some things, sure, and then Scarf the thing, but like it's okay. And I'm a Zacian with massive attack stats. Why do I care?
I will melt you.
Yeah.
And it's got all the moves it needs. Like, it's got Play Rough, it's got Close Combat, it's got Wild Charge, it's got all that it
Got
needs.
everything it needs. Yeah. I guess you can stab on Steel, which is okay.
Nah. It's not that great of an offensive type anyway.
I mean, if you really wanted to use, you could still Q's Ironhead and actually get a flinch instead of
exactly.
Behemoth Blade, which doesn't do anything in Ubers at the moment. So
you could have the Scarf, get 30% flinches. Like, that's solid enough. You can still run it. It's coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it deals other Zacian. Honestly, it probably would kill other Zacian if you're running like Scarf.
Yeah, might as well run it for the speed tie.
Yeah.
Like,
yeesh.
Then,
But yeah, so that's the thing on the radar, I guess, in Ubers.
That's the new surprising. Then there's Calyrex Shadow Rider, which is sensibly a threat.
Yeah, we've talked about that one several times, like every month since it came out, and it's still just as much of a problem as ever. If you don't pack 2 counters to it, not checks, counters, you're going to lose. So, yeah. That's why, according to the usage stats, Yveltal is the king of Ubers because Calyrex exists. That's the reason, and it's good by itself, but you have it on a team as a Calyrex check. So, even then, it can probably do something funky at you. I don't remember what its move that it could run for it is, but I think there's something.
It probably gets some coverage. I assume it might get Thunderbolt just because of Calyrex, but I don't know. I don't even know its move pool. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. Draining Kiss maybe.
Something funky. Yeah, I don't remember. But anyway, that's Ubers. Again, it's those 2 things right now that I guess they're looking at. Nothing's on the radar. Nothing's confirmed as coming as a next suspect yet. So by next month, maybe they'll have something. Who knows? We'll find out then. But we are going to go down to the next tier. OU, I've got that one because I talked with them, and the big suspect test happened in OU recently with Zamazenta.
Oh, they finally unbanned it?
It said Zacian. For 24 hours. It was an April Fool's suspect test, and it's even funnier because the thread for it had everywhere where it should have said Zamazenta, it said Zacian. So for a half second, I was like, "What? Wait, no, they're not doing Zacian in OU." So I built a team with Zacian on it like an idiot, and then jump on the ladder. Zacian's not allowed, but Zamazenta is. Oh, well, dang it. I'm just stupid.
It was a fun.
But yeah, they did have a. Oh, it was so great, and they've got the sprites that we're going to talk about later as the topic. That I love April Fools on Showdown. It was so. And this year they. Unrelated, on a totally different ladder, they unlocked Eternatus Eternamax form for a day. I didn't get to play that ladder, but holy mackerel.
That's like a true raid battle. Just how many Pokemon does it take to take down that? Oh, the stats are ridiculous. Oh.
Your defense go like 250 and like
Yeah. All the defensive stats are 250.
yeah.
Stupid. But yeah, that was a totally different ladder.
The
and
struggle with an HP stat run. High.
yeah. Ugh. And offenses, like the offenses don't move either. Like
No.
it's still got 130 or whatever.
Yeah, no, it just it's a shuckle with an offensive stat and an HP
Blech.
stat. Like
Ugh.
you don't
Vomit.
fight that. You just the only attack that's effective is click X.
Yeah, you forfeit or send out your own and Eterna cannon or whatever. But anyway, yeah. For the OU test, Zamazenta came down for a day. This is specifically Zamazenta crowned. If you guys have been listening to me the last couple of months and reading the OU forums, you know that it's all the rage right now. And a lot of people's opinion changed in that 24-hour period. There were some people on the forums who were like, yeah, I went into this thinking it was a joke and that Zamazenta was going to be absolutely ridiculous. And then I played with it and it's not as good as we thought. Like, it's actually kind of bad in some situations. And, you know, it ships down, it can't recover, it's got crummy attack as far as attacks go. So a lot of people's opinions has changed, and I think that that's going to be the next suspect because there's not anything out of place in OU right now. It is a balanced metagame. Even they just did the player survey, and a majority of the community agrees that that is a very balanced metagame right now. The only thing that could be on the radar to ban is Tornadus Therian, because it's kind of going a little bit bonkers. But even then, that's not a big one. It's unlikely they're going to retest Cinderace. Finally. We can finally be over with that. And majority of the community wants to give Zama a chance.
Because I guess, like, essentially it's just higher BSR Lucario, and it's...
I would say more Cobalion.
Yeah, Cobalion
is a perfect example. It's just a really bulky Cobalion.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's essentially what it is. It's Cobalion. Like,
with a worse move pool.
With a worse move pool.
Cobalion gets Sword Stance. Zamazenta gets Howl. Or Workup. Just
don't use Workup, it has less power points. Pro tip from someone who played the crap out of a Zamazenta for all that day. Don't use Workup. It's got less power points, and you're going to need to PP stall occasionally.
Man. Yeah, because like, even looking at it, like, if you're going crowned, you've got 145 in defenses, but you're looking at 92 HP, which is workable, but like, it's not the greatest.
It's still, that's really bulky. That is,
it is really bulky. No, definitely bulky, but I would just see people probably just running it on, like, non-crown just for the extra speed, because that would actually matter in a lot of situations. It's like, honestly, that'd be the only thing I could see it being kind of scary in the meta, is just being a fast fighting type.
Which is why they're only testing crowned. They've already made the determination that hero form without the shield is gonna be too much for OU just because it has the power and the item slot.
Yeah.
The only one they would be testing is crowned.
Yeah.
Which that absolutely makes sense. Just kind of looking at how items are really powerful. They really are. Like, the fact that it's locked into that item significantly nerfs it. That's like if all the Savali typings could hold items instead of the memories, you know, they would be so much better. They would so much higher, especially like, you know, the fairy one in particular is a physical fairy,
or even pull an Arceus and have them actually apply a type bonus instead of just be a useless item that changes type.
Mm-hmm.
That would be nice.
Yeah, give like a little boost.
Yeah. But one thing I noticed with the Zama meta, it really made a lot of the problems in OU a lot easier to handle. Like, one of the big, ugly, nasty things right now is that 3 or 4 things on a team run knockoff. This gives you a knockoff absorber that is very, very effective, and it makes it so that because of its existence, let alone it being on the team, because it exists in the ladder, it makes it so knockoff spam isn't as powerful just as a typing, as an archetype. So,
you gotta think you're a +1 defense immediately as coming in, as well as, like, you can't lose your item.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, which still applies the added bonus damage, but
like, I think with the 145 defense at a +1
and the +1 and you resist it. Like, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. You take like 2-3% maybe
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
Like,
You're
it's
looking
so
at like
small.
a 650 defense stat almost. Like a little less than that.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
it's not going to do much unless it's like powered up to the max, and even then it's like I don't know what you expect at that point.
Yeah.
And the big counters
I
to
think it's-
Zamazenta are the same ones that are kind of already existed at the same rate. It's not going to make them any worse.
Uh-huh.
Things
You
like,
don't need to alter your team to accommodate for a Zamazenta on the other side. Like, you still have a Corviknight. You still have a Volcarona or a Heatran. Like,
Zapdos.
well, Heatran not so
Toxapex.
much, but yeah.
Yeah, Toxapex.
Yeah. It can't break
Slowkings,
common OU walls.
Slowbros. Yeah,
Yep.
all of those.
So it's not like you even have to change your team if Zama lands. It likely handles it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think it's going to happen. I think it's probably going to happen soon, especially with people's opinion changing after the quote-unquote test. But we'll see.
Well, one thing is that what is Torn T doing in the meta? Like, I know Torn T's solid. It's a good pivot. Like,
Very solid. Heavy-duty boots made it so that it always recovers its full regenerator.
Yeah, you can't do rock
And-
damage to it.
The other big thing is it got nasty plot.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Just nasty
that.
plot,
Okay.
heat wave, nasty plot.
It's already got
hurricane.
no.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah,
okay,
mainly
that's-
it's Nasty Plot, Hurricane. I think the most common moveset is Nasty Plot, Hurricane, Knockoff is a guaranteed on it because that's just really good. And I want to say U-Turn or Focus Blast. I think it's Focus Blast.
Try
Heat Wave isn't run all that often.
Oh, okay.
I would think Tran is the main issue.
Yeah,
That's true,
but
yeah.
Knockoff, Nasty Plot is the set that is causing the most problems. And the other set is just bulky Defog. So...
Yeah, heavy duty boots is a dumb item. I like it's a good item. It's just kind of it feels like I have more concerns about heavy duty boots as an item than Pokemon as a threat.
Yeah. Yeah, but it kind of makes everything into a Zamazenta in a sense, where the item isn't doing anything else other than that. So
Yeah.
it's got its opportunity
It does.
cost. So moving down though, tell us about underused UU Shark. Tell us
right.
what's going on there.
All right. So first of all, we've got some bans of Latios and Alakazam. They were quick banned, it looks like. Yeah, which that makes a lot of sense. Those things, just seeing how UU's been in terms of how they've been banning a lot of these fast, just heavy hitting targets. Alakazam was not meant to stay there for too long.
No. Latios in underused. What on earth is happening?
That's yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
But
because of
yet-
Dragapult. Like,
Yeah, but yet Aegislash got unbanned here because it's just not have a real
similar
solid home.
reasons.
It just doesn't have a home
Yeah.
really at all. In this generation,
Poor thing.
it's just crazy. Going from Ubers all the way down, just hanging in UU, I guess.
Yeah. Wild. Absolutely wild.
Yeah, and with the tier shifts in April, we've got a lot of things moving up and through this. Bisharp, Kyurem, Skarmory, Slowking, and Zeraora all move up. Kind of, I think, thanks to some of those, some of the bannings that have happened over the past few months. Slowking's gotten a lot better. No Urshifu to stop it, and
And as a matter of
Skarm's
fact,
getting
it's a good stop to the other Urshifu. So
better. Zeraora things come back to
Everything
life
pretty much
again.
except for Dark. Yeah,
You've also
Zeraora's always been strong. Just like it's just got coverage and speed, and enough
Yeah.
attack to make those coverage moves work.
And you also have Magnezone.
Oh, yeah, no
Magnezone
wonder.
having a fun rise back up to OU again. It's just had a fun
Yeah.
little roller coaster, hasn't it?
wasn't it like RU?
Yeah, are you
Is
to
that
OU?
where it was?
It dropped to RU back in January, and now it's back to OU again. I think without a Urshifu, there's nothing that's going to hit it too hard, and it still does a decent job trapping. Especially if Skarm's back. Skarm and Corviknight are still wreaking havoc up in OU. And the Iron Defense
I
body
think another
press side
factor
is still
too.
good.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the primary set nowadays because Ferrothorn exists and it can't touch it without it. But I think another factor is the fact that Cinderace is gone, which not only was a threat to Magnezone, but that was how a lot of teams dealt with steals. So now that they don't have Cinderace anymore, they've got to have something as a partner for Rillaboom to get rid of the steel types. So here comes Magnezone.
Yeah, especially being able to nerf some of those earthquakes from Lando, just to maybe make Magnezone survive it. once you get it to +2.
Mm-hmm. But a couple cool things dropped to UU that they're usable now, so that's cool.
Yeah. Well, since the Urshifu got banned back in early January and whatnot, you don't really need Buzzwole or Moltres as like requirements on your team now to kind of be that defensive check to that Urshifu single strike.
Mm-hmm.
But now you got Buzzwole being a nice big physical wall that a lot of things down here can't really break. Moltres being a good, Flame Body being a U-turn deterrent, a good defogger, and Scissor being rampant in this tier makes Moltres a great addition to your teams.
Yeah. Moltres is geared to become huge down here, especially, like, you mentioned the reliable defogger. I think, if my memory is right, the only other good one at the time before that dropped down was, like, Salamence. So having at least another one, or letting Salamence do something else is cool.
Yeah, letting Salamence be an offensive threat, yeah. I mean, Scissor technically can be running defog as well, and...
That too. Yeah, that's true.
There's a couple I see here. I don't know which one they're very viable. Like, you've got the Rotom, you got Rotom Wash and Heat. You've got Mew, who can probably do some stuff. Like
the Thundies could, especially Thundies now that Zeraora's gone. They get a lot better.
Oh yeah, Raiku's gonna pop off. Raikou is a sleeper. I'm telling you what.
Raiku's been Raikou just always gets outclassed. Like Jolteon and Raikou, which just like end up getting outclassed by something. It's kind of how it feels. Like
sometimes, now that Raikou's got a lot more to it, like it can always run Aura Sphere, and it got Scald this gen.
Yeah,
I feel like it's got a lot more tricks up its sleeve.
It's got some stuff now. It's got some more tools. I haven't seen it in place since these tools, but it's like always one of those things how I feel like there's Jolteon, now there's Raikou, which is better coverage, and then like and above that there's just like Coco. Like it's like it's this weird like this kind of like hierarchy. Like like Raikou's big thing now is, again, so you get Scald, always get the Aura Sphere, it's got coverage. Of, like, this is the primary fast electric attacker for, like, special, like, essentially what they all do, they just go for, like, Thunderbolts as fast, hard as they can with either Calm Mind or... Coco can't do Calm Mind, though, but it gets electric terrain immediately.
Yeah.
And they all fill almost a similar role in a way, but they can do different things still. Not saying they're all the same, but they are very similar.
Fast electric with some quirks.
Pretty much.
Yep.
It's like, here's your vanilla. Do you want chocolate? Do you want, like, chocolate sauce? Do you want sprinkled? Or do you want, like, a cherry? What do you want?
Yep.
You can't get all three. You only get one. What do you want?
Yeah, I'm looking
or you can get nothing, which is Jolteon.
Yeah. I'm looking at what's going... All the Pokemon in UU here. Kamo and Salamence look like they can definitely do a lot of work now with this tier shift here. There's not really many fairies down here for them to stop them. So, we'll see how long they last.
Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, that's UU. We're going to hop on over to the next one, which is RU, and I'll take that one. They had a ban recently. They had their suspect test. I think we talked about it last month is when it was starting or so. But Zygarde 10% has been banned from RU. It was too much for the tier. And that has a whole cascade of effects on the rest of everything there. Oh, look at that. Raikou is doing amazing down here. So, yeah. The standard set it runs is Thunderbolt, Aura Sphere, Volt Switch, and Toxic to catch grounds on the Switch. So you lure them, and then you do that. And it can run, like I said, the aforementioned Scald. But another thing that's good for it, especially because Roserade is popping up here, you can slap Extra Sensory on it and melt a Roserade if you catch it on the correct switches and things like that. So yeah, and now that Zygarde's gone, it can go even crazier because I don't remember if it outsped it, but otherwise unimportant because it was a ground type.
It's speed tie. Yeah, speed tie. They're both 115.
I think they're both 115.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, so now that Zygarde's gone, it's gonna go absolutely berserk and just Thunderbolts everywhere. All of them Thunderbolts. Some other stuff that's going berserk is Cresselia, which we'll get to why it's being used in RU. It was banned from NU, so it has to be used somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's using the same set that got it banned in NU, which is just the stored power Calm Mind with a Key Berry for the defense boost.
You gotta love it. So hard to break.
Oh, yeah. And it can run Moonblast, too, so the things that normally stop stored power sets, they just explode. So no fun for facing down a Cresselia, and she thick. So
Yeah, Cresselia has the defense.
Yeah.
What, 130, 120?
If you like an anti-meta pick for down here, you can go with Toxicroak, because that's good at taking advantage of a lot of things that aren't named Cresselia down here. You can either do Swords Dance or just go for straight hard utility with like knockoff and sometimes focus punch even. Because if you switch into the right thing, it has to run. It can't damage you, like a Milotic. Milotic cannot hurt a Toxicroak, so just fire off a focus punch as it runs away. So that's an idea. We've got the aforementioned Roserade being down here. It really does a good job rounding off a whole lot of type cores down here, and is a good spiker. And hazards are awesome, even in a heavy-duty boots world.
Roserade is just solid. It's got like high special attack, high special defense, so really just invest in like HP and like you can even just do defense or speed. Like you can just make a pure utility, not even invest in attack stat, because like you can just make it can still kill stuff easily enough with its high attack stat, and like you get Sludge Bomb and Energy Ball or whatever grasp you want to run in. But like it hits hard, like surprisingly.
And it's surprisingly resilient too. You mentioned the stats, but it's also got Natural Cure Rest.
Yeah, so you can just rest, swap out.
On to the water types of RU. All the way down from OU is Barrascuda for some reason. I guess it can't handle Rillaboom and OU. So
kind of get that. I'm just surprised it dropped this low immediately.
I think another thing. Go ahead.
It's just whenever OU decides to have rain, Barrascuda shoots up, and when it doesn't, it just drops all the way down.
Yeah.
Yep. I think the biggest thing about that is it faces a lot of competition on a rain team from Urshifu Rapid Strike, which has been seeing a lot of popularity recently. So people drop the Barrascuda, which is very one-dimensional, for Urshifu, which can do a little bit more.
Yeah.
Not as fast, but it can do a little bit more.
It's a little bulkier. it can take an extra hit, too. And Surging Strikes in the rain.
And it's still got priority, too.
A bit hard.
Yeah. So that's my theory. That's the Seth Vilo theory, why Barrascuda's down here. But it does give rain life down here, so if you manually set it, or I think Politoed is somewhere in here. So you can have a fun little rain team with a Barrascuda here in RU and go crazy. You might think that that's the end of the world and that RU can't handle it, but au contraire, there are other water types down here that can keep Barrascuda pretty well in check. And those are just risen out of NU to RU, Golisopod and Gastrodon. They were always usable in RU, but now they're getting a lot of hype because of, I guess people realize they're good. Gastrodon, too, can check this Raikou set that we talked about a minute ago. Golisopod is just strong and good roll compression because it can have hazards and knockoff, and a good strong priority move, too. So, them's the water types. And yeah. That's RU. Shamu, tell us about what's going on in NU. There's some wild, crazy stuff going on there.
I see that, yeah. So Cresselia went away, and that's why we have it in RU now. And also got rid of Snow Warning.
Yeah.
And getting rid of Snow Warning, we were allowed to get Arctozolt and Aurora Veil back. I assume just because those were very much dumb in a Hail team. So okay, we don't have the Hail, immediate Hail now, we can get rid of this stuff, or we can give this stuff back.
Right. Yeah, you have to auto set. You have to set Hail with the move now in order for Aurora Veil to work.
Yeah. We also lost Gastrodon, Golisopod, and Roserade. Not as banned, just they moved on up. But we got the little fun mods of Entei and Glastrier.
Glastrier. It is tumbling.
But yeah,
the Explodey Horse.
Yeah. And apparently one of the big factors of banning Snow Warning was Mienshao being banned, I assume, previously, because that was like the only Scarf Mienshao was the only way to actually beat Hail Team, was just you had to run that and just sweep. Glastrier's a fun mod. It's got good moves, it's got good like defensive stats, but it is an ice type, and it's like it doesn't really have recovery, so you have to have some sort of support via Wish. So like it is strong though. It is strong. Like I've used it. You're dealing with 145 base attack, like, and enough defense to like hit a move. Like, it'll live a hit or two.
Exactly.
Slap an assault vest on it.
And if you get a chilling neigh or two.
Yeah, like, and Trick Room is I think a bit more viable down here too. So, Like, it's just one of those things where, like, it can do stuff. It is strong. You let it go, it's gonna go.
Yeah.
The Blastoise is gonna... Oh yeah, it'll take the tier, because Gastro's gone, Goliathopod and Roserade are all gone. Like, those are all things that would just wall it or counter it immediately. So, Blastoise is free to, I assume it gets Shell Smash. I don't know if it's banned in any of you.
That is correct. Yep.
Okay.
That's part of the reason that Mega Blastoise was banned in Nat decks, is because it got Shell Smash and Mega Launcher.
Oh yeah, no, that's... Yeah. So, Shell Smash Blastoise is gonna come. It's gonna come for you.
Yep.
Flygon's also appreciating the lack of Hail teams, and then no Goliathopod Gastrodon being just walls that can't really deal with that well. And then, again, it's got Dragon Dance. Like, it's got setup. It can do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
It's got a big enough move pool where it can do things that it just... Really, it's the only reason I think it's down here is just because of stats. It doesn't have the raw stats
Yeah, really.
to compete with higher tier dragons.
Flygon has always been neat, but that's about all it's been, is neat.
Yeah. Not scary, but always reliable.
Yep, and other than Gen 4, where it was the king, because it was the only dragon left.
I remember those days when it's just...
Yeah.
Garchomp ban, Solomon's ban.
Dragonite.
Latias ban.
Oh, was Dragonite allowed at that time? I don't know if it might have got
Yeah,
banned.
Dragonite's down there.
Yeah. Yeah, but also now that Gastro's gone, you don't need to run Grass Knot, so you get to have that extra move slot for whatever you want.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Starmie.
more
Starmie is crazy
Starmie.
for that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, no Grass Knot? Cool, let me run whatever I want. I could just run Power Meteor Beam. That's not fun.
Yes!
It could... Yeah, it could decide to go pivot mode. It can add extra coverage. It can even probably try to recover, even if
Yeah, you could run more
the
both.
defensive set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It allows you to do more things, to be more versatile, instead of just having to essentially always have Grass Knot for that matchup. Oh.
Yeah.
This is the first we got a little set here. It's a bit of a spice rack. Take a
Yes,
spice
take
down.
it away.
You've heard of Vincoon, but have you heard of Entei?
Vinte or Vinente.
So
This is the dumbest thing I've ever
I
seen.
love this so much. So essentially it's just Crocoon, but just Entei with leftovers, pressure. It has to be shiny.
Has to be.
Has to be shiny. I don't know if that even matters, but we'll say it is.
No, it doesn't.
You're running 132 HP, max defense, 96 special defense, and 28 speed with a bold nature, preferably 0 IV in attack. Substitute Calm Mind, Protect, Lava Plume. So you're just doing what Suicune did with Scald, but like just Lava Plume.
But Lava Plume instead, how dumb. I love it.
You got the 132 HP for 101 subs. Maxing out the physical defense to give you defensive presence outside of just like setting up and burning. So you at least have a stat to rely on. Essentially special defense is filler, but it has turned some calcs different, like +2 Mantine Scald not breaking sub. But it's just kind of like it
It's
was
just
there
the
because
extra.
yeah, it was like we got the 101 sub, we got the max defense, and then you got the 28 speed, which is just crept for Adamant Tyrantrum, I assume. T-Trum?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tyrantrum.
So you just have that speed, just that speed Tyrantrum. Then you got this 96 points. It's like, okay, let's just shove it in special defense. Why not? Boost the stat you're trying to boost anyway, so. Yeah, your whole thing is just sitting there and just lava pluming, burn things, whittle it down. Just boost.
Vinte. I hate it. I love it, but I hate it so much.
And there's not really any Flash Fire Pokemon that can really stop it. I mean, looks like Santa Scorch or Arcanine, but they're not going to run Flash Fire at all. They got way better abilities than Flame Body and Intimidate.
Well, Centiscorch typically runs Flash Fire because it turns a neutrality into an immunity. But, meh.
Is it seeing that much
Who's
play,
going to
though?
run that
that's
when
the
there's
thing.
Blastoise on the run?
Yeah. And then, like, Arcanine, you're going to probably just see Intimidate anyway, so I doubt you'd see Flash Fire, unless you want that fire immunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, it could be. It could be a thing you want, but again, it's like...
It just means that
you're
this
not- I
Entei
don't-
goes wild.
Yeah. Like, okay, just
Yeah.
get rid of the Arcanine. Cool.
Done. Easy.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, and I'll take the last tier here because this one has just come unglued with one Pokemon that left. So, first of all, the departures from the tier. Here are the ones that are not as important. So the things that left PU are Aurorus, Arctivish, Vanillix, Sandslash, Alolan, Braviary, and Vaporeon. A lot of those are the pieces of hail that you recognize. They probably shot up because are you?
Yeah.
NU. NU was doing so well with hail up until the snow warning ban. But I expect them to drop back down to PU over the next tier shift. However, since a tier above PU banned snow warning, that means snow warning is also banned in PU. So it can't go too crazy here. They're going to fall back to PU and not really do much of anything. Mm-hmm. So just something there. However, since NU unbanned Aurora Veil, that means that PU now also has unbanned Aurora Veil. So you could manually set Hail and set Aurora Veil again, like I've seen Aurorus do in the past. But yeah, so that's a little bit of intricacy with how the tier and banning things work. I expect those Hailmons will come back down next rotation. But the biggest important departure from the PU tier is Talonflame. And the more I read about this Pokemon, it held this tier together. So now that it's gone, everything is broken. Talonflame was just a Swiss Army knife of a Pokemon. It could U-turn by itself. It could wall things because it primarily uses Flame Body now because Gale Wings is so unreliable to use.
Yeah, sure.
And it's a good defogger. It has the raw speed to revenge things down here. You don't need to rely on Gale Wings. Flame Body is just so much better. And it kept all the fighting types down here in check too, because this is where a lot of them land, is in the PU tier. So Talonflame is gone. The next thing that has already been suspected once prior to Talonflame leaving was Varision. Part of the reason it wasn't banned last time was because Talonflame was here to stop it. Now that's gone, so they quick banned Varision just a couple days ago. So,
yeah,
because it was just too much.
Yeah.
Varion's strong. It's just that if you don't have, like, again, Braviary left too, so it's like, you have two of your like prominent flying types gone, and like what's even in PU? Is there anything in PU that can even like stop Varision? Like, I doubt there is, honestly, at that point.
It looks
Not really. Charizard is the only other kind of thing that's filling Talonflame's void because it's a fire flying type with Roost. It kind of serves the same purpose, but it's slower than Varision, so it's Stone Edge bait.
Yeah, like, I guess the only other thing I could see is, well, no, that wouldn't even probably do it. Like, the Valai Fairy could possibly just, like, beat it, but they're probably not running the set you would think they'd run for that, and, like...
I don't even think that's PU. I think that's one of the good ones.
Really?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Xatu?
Never mind.
Maybe. Xatu and Golbat?
Zatu's popping off.
There's a couple things that could, I think, but it's a fact of the matter that they're not probably running the set that would actually deal with this. Because Rizion also has a high enough special defense to, like, okay, oh, look, there's a Whimsicott. Well, Whimsicott probably can't actually, like, break that wall. And same thing with, like, something like Rabambi. I probably can't do enough damage to just kill it.
Yeah. And that was the problem. Once Talonflame left, Varision was out of control, and so it was quick banned. Another big loss was Vaporeon leaving, because that rounded out a whole lot of cores down here, as well as put a stop to a lot of offensive waters down here.
Yeah.
So a lot of the big breakers in these lower tiers are the types that you don't see as wall breakers looking. Like big grass types with huge special attack stats, like Alolan Executor, for instance, is a huge grass type wall breaker down here. Talonflame being gone means it can go haywire. Same thing with things like Kingler, which is a monstrous wall breaker down here with sheer force liquidation.
And you get agility. So you just like do an agility and you start sweeping. You don't Swords dance agility, just dual like water and then boom. Whatever.
Yeah. Another thing, for instance, that's really taking advantage of Vaporeon being gone to the point of it's likely going to be the next suspect test is Omastar.
Oh.
With Shell Smash.
Yep, that would be why.
You could even probably do Shell Smash plus Power Herb Meteor Beam and Surf and just go to town. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
That's all you need.
There you go.
Really. Like,
So that's likely the next thing that's going to be suspected, if I'm reading the forum tone correctly. Another thing is Centiskorch is really good down here at dismantling current defensive cores, just because it's got the moveset to do it, and it no longer has to worry about Talonflame revenging it or Varision Stone Edging it to death. So, yeah, that's PU. The glue that was binding everything together is gone with the screech of a peregrine falcon. So, ho-hum, here we are. People are adapting as best they can. And that is the summary of the tiers, really. Unfortunately, the Eternamax tier is gone. It was here for a day. It left, so I can't give you an update on that, and I didn't end up being able to play it. So we can't give you tier notes on the Eternamax tier. So with that, we are going to take a quick break and be right back at you with the topic of this episode, reviewing the sprites from April Fools. We'll be right back. All aboard. It's time for the topic. And welcome back. I hope you're still with us after that little tiny April Fool's prank that I put on you at the end of last segment. We are, in fact, not reviewing the sprites for April Fools as the topic. We're doing something totally different, which is something related to the Zamazenta suspect test.
Wait, what?
So hold tight with us for that, because we are going to have a little bit of a moment. What are your favorite sprites,
okay.
guys? Because those are hilarious.
I was about to leave if that was the case.
The April Fools was on us.
The April Fool's was on. No, it's just to make sure that people don't just stop at the topic. These idiots are going to review a sprite on an audio-based medium. That seems great. But no, like, what are your favorites, though? Because I loved playing with them. It's my favorite thing every year.
There's a lot of good ones. Like, a shout out to the fossils that are just Lego bricks and like stuck together.
Yeah.
Like
The Lego pieces,
shout out
yeah.
to them.
And they're even glued
Shout out to
together
Cameron.
wrong. Just like...
Yeah. Yeah. Like Archbishop Staple, Archidol, it's like flat out like super glue.
Oh my god.
I know what Draco that looks like. Or Draco, let me see. Let me find those two. Draco those is just like one of those like little thin flat pieces just shoved between like a normal like Lego brick. It's not even like actually attached, it's just like sideways.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what Draco Vish what happened to that one. It's just like shoved there. I don't know if they melted it. Is that what it's supposed to be? I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. I don't know
just like-
what the heck.
No, they're just solid ones. They're just funny. It's like, okay, that's a good way to do it. That's what they are anyways. Like,
Exactly. Just done wrong Legos. There's some good ones. Like Dragapult has just a really badly drawn Dragapult that says apply child to foe. Flapple is just an iPhone with bat wings.
you've got Cinderace.
I love-
Cinderace G-Max, which is just a rabbit on a bottle of Fireball.
Yes.
And you pointed out a great one, which was Inteleon G-Max.
Oh,
Yes,
this is what I knew about from a while ago. It's just Tigger with a sniper.
That's really what it is, though.
It is. It's exactly what it is. It's Tigger from Winnie the Pooh with a sniper rifle. It's colored blue.
Yeah.
And regular Inteleon is just a recolored Randall from Monsters Inc. Like, if you haven't played on April 1st, I'm going to go ahead and tell you now. Put it on your calendar for next year. Just hop on Showdown, get into the random ones, because then you'll see things outside of OU, and you'll get to see a lot of the dumb nonsense that's out there.
Yeah.
Okay, I also just realized that there's also a sprite folder you can also find if you dig. But
Yeah, just
Did you-
Yeah, I'm
find
gonna
us
put
in
it
the
in the show
Discord. We'll
notes.
help y'all.
I'm going to put it in the show notes.
Oh, yes,
There's
please.
Digimon Showdown.
Oh, yes, there is just that there. I think they did that one year. They did a Digimon prank.
Digimon Showdown is just in the sprite thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
good.
there's...
Hoopa Unbound is Exodia.
I know, I have that one queued up here. That one's a great one. Venusaur G-Max is just Venusaur underneath the Toxapex. Zarude Dada form is Zarude Sandstorm. Just literally, excuse me.
So good.
Oh,
Like,
goodness.
Ice Cube's got a TV on its head, and Ice Cube No Ice is just Rose.
Yeah,
Chairman Rose.
just straightening up his little tie there.
Yeah.
reboot his Naruto.
I just realized. Oh, yeah. I just realized Mega Gengar is Phantom of the Opera.
Oh my god.
Oh, and
Got the math.
G-Max Gengar is the Cave of Wonders from Aladdin.
Oh, that's what that was. And it was like some Disney thing. I couldn't remember what it was.
The big giant tiger thing. Yep. Or lion thing.
We would be remiss, and I think P. McGee would be mad at us if we didn't mention Pyukumuku with the top hat that says the word fancy on it.
Yes.
Oh.
His Larry
Oh, yeah.
that he laddered with that day.
Yeah, I know. He got really far with that, too. Pyukumuku.
He did. It was wild.
Pyukumuku is a really good stop to Zamazenta.
It honestly is, which kind of leads us into what the topic actually is. We wanted to draw inspiration from the Zamazenta suspect test. Like, why is it getting suspect tested in the first place? It's a box legend. It's got 720 base stat total. The reason is the item thing, which we've previously discussed, but also its move pool isn't enough. So what we wanted to discuss today was Pokemon that are good, but otherwise restricted by specifically their move pool. So we've each picked a couple, but we wanted to start off with Zamazenta as kind of the primary example. Like, if that thing got one simple move of, like, Body Press, which looks like it was built for it, we wouldn't be having this discussion. Yeah. Like, it would be uber zero questions.
Yeah, Iron Defense, Body Press, psh, yeah, it's done. Done deal.
Uh-huh.
You wouldn't even really need to. You'd be dealing with, like, that 650 bit, like 640, I think it is. Like, 640 defense, Body Press immediately. Turn 1.
Yeah, just from it touching the field.
Yeah.
Its best fighting move is Close Combat, which is the opposite of what it is built for, being a shield. It lowers its defenses. What the heck?
Yeah. I would love to see it get, like, an additional, like, signature move. That was, like, just, like, a...
Yeah.
Just give them both, like, a stab that's just, like, more of a neutral attack.
Uh-huh.
Like, sure, you'd be buffing Zacian, which doesn't need it, but even then, I think it'd be fine. It's a legend anyways.
Yeah, or something with more than 8 power points, too.
Yeah.
That was another big problem that I had when I was running it.
Mm-hmm. You have only so many moves and such. Like, I will say, it has 80 special attack, which isn't the greatest, but it does get some fun special moves. Like, you get...
That is true.
You do get Moonblast. You have Play Rough as well, which you probably want to run, but then you could do Moonblast. You get Steel Beam.
Yeah,
you are a Steel type. You get Steel Beam.
You do.
Huh.
That would be fun.
Which could be a viable coverage move.
I guess so, from a special one.
Because if you're thinking, like, what... Like, even just run physical and just slap it on a special for, like, hitting a wall. Like a physical wall.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, okay, what's this other highest base steel move? Oh, Behemoth Bash. Sure, it'll hit probably harder, and, like, you don't want to lose half your health, sure, but, like, that could do something.
Otherwise, you got Flash Cannon, maybe.
Like, I wouldn't even think about Flash Cannon. I would just go, like, if you're gonna do it, you're just gonna do Steel Beam.
Yeah.
For steel.
Yeah.
You may as well just go full on. You get, like, is it good? Like, you get some weird Solar Beam.
You can't even run Power Herb Solar Beam. That's the problem. You're stuck in the ground form.
Yeah.
So you
run it with Sun. It's fine. You get, like, you actually get some, like, random, like, kind of, like, okay, you want to do that mixed one. You get Work Up. I wouldn't recommend it, you know. I'm not saying it's good, but...
Ugh.
You do get Snarl, which could be fun as its attack. Like, something that might just need to, like...
I mean, this slow, bro.
Instead of running a special...
Yeah.
Instead of running a special defense boosting thing, which I don't think you can actually get a special defense boosting move. Here, Snarl. It kind of works the same way, except it's in reverse, which isn't great, you know, sure, but it's a thing.
Yeah.
You get some weird tech stuff.
It's
like
true.
Metal Burst. Metal Burst is a solid move. Something that you can't hurt, really.
The problem is it's neutral priority. You'd have to make your Zamazenta intentionally slow. But with 128 base speed, you can't outslow a ton. You might be able to get something, but...
Yeah.
It
might be cool for, like, revenging something fast.
Yeah, definitely. Like, something... Like, I mean, you could, like, make yourself slower, take a Earthquake from Lando, and then be able to revenge that right away.
Yeah.
It can eat. Yeah. It can eat a Lando Earthquake easily.
That could be a... You know, like...
It actually could be something.
Make a mix Zamazenta with minus speed nature.
Yeah. Maybe that could be something. But it's like, otherwise you're stuck with fangs.
Otherwise...
You got a lot of fangs.
Yeah, your fangs,
which
crunch,
are garbage.
You don't really have a lot, like... There's techs here. There is tech you can play with. You get Wild Charge, you get Psychic Fangs, you get Play Rough. Like...
Yeah.
Is it good? No. Is it doable? I would say yes. Like, it's...
Yeah.
You can make something happen. You're not going to be an omnipotent monster. Like, you're not going to be Zacian. But
Nope.
you could still be a solid enough threat. Like, there's no, like, it's again... Well, playing the ladder, it was like... Oh, it was fine, but not as good as, like... There's so many things in the meta that just kill it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Heatran, Volcarona.
And a lot of
Boom.
things walled if they don't get
In
the
some
right
cases,
moves.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty much. But yeah, that was the primary example that we wanted to start off with as far as a really good Pokemon on paper that's restricted by its move pool. So we each picked 3 other Pokemon that we have kind of on our list. So I'll start off with one, and I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit with this one. And I know it's not available in Sword and Shield, so it might change a little bit depending on when/if it becomes available. That is Serperior. And it's okay as far as its move pool goes, but the problem that it has is it's got Leaf Storm. That's kind of its bread and butter with Contrary. It's got Dragon Pulse, which is decent coverage, and that's it now, because it lost Hidden Power.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
It
Hidden
relied on
Power,
power to be that last slot.
Hidden Power did a lot.
It cannot break Steel types. Like, with its 2 moves that it uses, it doesn't have any other good special moves to utilize with Leaf Storm anymore. Like, oftentimes you'd see Leaf Storm and Hidden Power, the other 2 moves being support moves like Glare or Leech Seed or something like that. But Hidden Power was on every single Serperior because it was so needed, because it's such a barren move pool. I don't think that if it comes back, Serperior will be OU. I don't even think it will be UU. That's how much it relied on Hidden Power Fire.
Because really what it would be doing is just, it'd be Lurantis but fast.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like,
Really.
with a lot less of a move pool.
Yeah, it doesn't even...
Unless
can't
you
even
go like straight Subseed.
You could go Subseed, you could try Coil,
Yeah.
but
like,
it's...
Well, with Contrary, Coil actually
Well,
lowers
you-
things.
Well, you
yeah,
would just not run Coil.
Yeah. But still.
Or not run
That's
Coil,
not
you just
fun,
not
though.
run Contrary, I would
Yeah,
think.
you would just
Like,
go...
Yeah.
again.
You can do... It has something with,
You would be
like,
going-
Aqua Tail, Outrage...
Yeah.
But even then, it
Yeah.
doesn't have knockoff. Like, it doesn't even have Brutal Swing.
You would be going from what was a essentially fast special attacker that was would snowball to just a much more utility based set with.
Yeah.
You probably would just run Leaf Storm and then like 3 support moves type thing. Like,
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's going to be exactly what you said, where it's Leaf Storm, Sub, Glare, Seed.
Yeah.
yeah, like
Oh.
essentially you would just run like essentially whatever 3 support moves you get. Does it get Defog?
Yes.
So there, you would have Defog too. You probably, I don't know. You might run Seed. You might run Defog.
Yeah.
And I know
But,
it
yeah,
has a lot
Superior's
of
one.
support moves, so you might see some weird tech there too.
Yeah. So I've said my first one. How about you, Shark? What's your first one?
I'm going to talk about another Pokemon that is a relatively good, like, OU caliber Pokemon that also lost something big with Hidden Power, and that would be Magnezone. This thing has been kind of up and down the tiers lately. It has, it just, without Hidden Power, it cannot consistently break Ferrothorn or certain steel types. It could still, it could trap Scarm just fine, but Electric Steel is not enough special coverage at all. There's a lot of types it cannot hit that well.
Yeah, because it's been reduced to just running Body Press now. Yeah,
It does have to commit. You
have to
basically
run-
commit to running the Iron Defense Body Press set to be able to.
Yep.
If you're going to trap it for Ferrothorn, that's what you kind of have to do. And Ferrothorns have been able to run that set back, so it's kind of like neutral, you know. It just kind of
or at
if
least
you-
body press over one of their moves.
If it just got like Focus Blast, it would just be dumb. Like you,
If it,
like that would solve that problem. That would solve Tran. Like initially, I was like, because I was looking at him too, and I didn't realize he had Magnezone. I was like, oh, just give the thing like Earth Power. Oh God, that would be scary as hell. Like,
God.
yeah, it just gets Earth Power and just kind of fixes that problem. It wouldn't fix Magnezone specifically, but like, not Magnezone, but like Ferrothorn. But like, Focus Blast would hit all those things, and like, you would as an Earth Power, you could trap other Magnezones.
Yeah.
And if you're like Scarf, like it would be more of a speed tie at that point, or you could Focus Blast might still do it too with its special attack stat. Like, it really just needs, like, 1 or 2 moves just to fix it.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that it's running on, like, normal steel and electric, essentially, and, like, body press.
Yeah.
You're running off of, like,
Yeah, I mean,
that. That's the biggest issue with a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a couple others, I think, but that's, like, the main moves you're looking at other than, like, weird tech moves.
Yeah,
like,
otherwise you run,
things
like,
get more flat.
sub-toxic,
Like,
but
yeah.
you just end up just running specs with, like, Volt Switch on top of having, like, Discharge or Thunderbolt and Flash Cannon kind of a thing. You just run all those moves just because you can, because there's nothing else you stick in those slots. It has no real setup options. It just kind of result to either trapping or it's just on the whims of whatever is needed in OU. It's like, okay, are we able to... Is Skarm from? Okay, we'll bring Magnezone up to trap it and just go about our days. But, yeah.
It does have base 115 or so defense, though, so body press is honestly a good option on it, but it's not optimal. It feels bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because Magnezone's there to usually just trap something and kill it immediately. Like, that's not what we're used to. We're not used to it being an actually bulky mon that tries to, like, take hits. It's been usually there just to, like, come in, trap, kill.
Yep.
And
that's what we've known it as for years.
Honorable mention to Magneton, who does not get body press.
Oh, rip.
Yeah, no, it's even worse. It's
no.
If it got body press, it would be a viable, like, lower tier Pokemon, but no, it does not get body press, so it can't even do it's just worse.
Yuck.
I guess actually too on like you could have fun with did they get Rising Voltage? I assume it does. You could have fun with that with like Coco.
Oh yeah, it's in Steel Roller with Coco as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
There you go.
It's had some fun moves, but they're only electric or steel. Or, I guess, Tri Attack, Gyro Ball,
There's issues with mons like that, where they're really just like, here's some fun moves, but you're only going to get stab and normal. Yeah. And then, like, 1 coverage.
Yeah.
Like,
Hidden Power did so much to this, and it don't got it no more.
Yeah. Not one of my mons, but that feels very much like Kling Klang as well, which has shift gear, gear grind, and nothing. Especially now they took
running
like
and
it's the exact same situation.
It is exactly the same situation.
Yeah. Normal steel electric, return, gear grind, and then like wild charge.
Wild charge. It doesn't even and return's gone now, so it can't even get return now.
You get like I think I got something else though actually.
And you don't even get the electric stab.
No, it doesn't.
You don't get electric stab either. That's also feel bad.
It's awful.
I thought, like,
it's very similar.
Hey, at least you get clear body, so you can't lose that attack stat.
Fair. How about you, Shamu? What's one of your Pokemon?
So, gonna start off with a little bit of mellow one. Mienshao. Like, Mienshaw's a solid mon. It is. Like, Regenerator, Inner Focus, High Jump Kick, U-Turn, Knockoff, and, like, Rock Slide or Stone Edge or whatever. But, like, that's it. There you go. You get, like...
One-dimensional.
You can get Blade Kick. You can get Acrobatics, sure. You can get Poison Jab. You get some coverage. But really, like, it does not get a lot. Like, at least it get the fire move with, like, Blaze Kick, but you don't even get, like, the punches. You don't get Thunder Punch, you don't get Fire Punch. Or not Fire Punch, Ice Punch. Like, you're literally just sticking with, like, Fighting Dark, like, Bug. Like, and then a Rock move coverage. Yuck. Like, imagine it getting, like, it gets Blaze Kick. Like, I could see it even just get, like, it'd be fun to have, like, Wild Charge with, like, Reckless.
Yeah.
See, like,
Reckless. Yeah, that would be crazy.
Be fun. Like, imagine it getting like wild. Like, might not make sense to have Mienshao have wild charge, sure, but like it's just one of those
Actually,
things where...
that would be really good. You outspeed a lot of things. You wild charge.
Yeah.
I guess that would be with Reckless. If you had Regenerator, you could be able to take the damage and then switch out.
Yeah. Like, it's got 125 attack. It's got a lot of attack to use even like weaker power moves. Like, they'll do damage. And 105 speed, which is enough to outspeed some things and then slap a scarf on it or something, but it's also got a 95 base special attack, which is, like, that's usable. That is the usable special attack, and like, but then you look at it, Focus Blast, Grass Knot, Aura Sphere.
Oof.
Ugh.
Oof.
You have Calm Mind.
That's another big loss of hidden power. Ugh.
You have Calm Mind. So you technically could do that, but if you're literally looking at those moves, Hyper Beam, Round, Snore, Swift. That's like all of its special moves.
Gross.
And it's just like it could be something. It could have been something. You give it a couple moves, like I don't even know what you can give it specially, to be honest. Like Fire Blast, nah. Don't know. Give it the champ treatment. No.
Yeah, it's not a Gen 1 Pokemon. What are you talking about? Fire Blast Machamp. What the heck?
Blizzard Machamp,
But yeah.
Thunder Machamp.
That's a good one. That's usable.
Like, yeah, just need a couple moves and you're set. Like, it could have been much more of an Ishman, but it's just kind of left just being a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll take the next one. We've talked about a couple that require or would be great with a couple of offensive support, like attacking moves. But I want to talk about something that would be great with one specific utility move. And that is Gallerian Moltres. Or, quite frankly, even Gallerian Zapdos. Either one of them would be fantastic with the specific move Roost, which they don't get. Galar Moltres I have near and dear to my heart because it's on our draft team and it's done really well, but it could abuse the absolute heck out of Berserk if it had Roost.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got the defensive stats.
Yeah.
Like, it's got 125 defense, 125 special defense, 90 defense, and 90 HP. It's got the defensive stats to be able to use that Dark Flying typing. Not as good as Mandibuzz, but pretty close.
It would put it really close there. That would just be about as good as Mandibuzz.
Yeah, being able to.
And if it had Roost, you could slowly build up Berserk boosts until you are absolutely running Train over everything in front of you. It would be OU for sure.
Yeah, and same thing with Zapdos would be like a fine defensive. Like, it's got enough stats, I think, to be a bit more physically defensive too. So you could just like Roost would allow it to have more longevity and stuff, and just like, hey, you could run a more of a bulky set with it if you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And recover off like Brave Bird recoil.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just right there. It just needs that little bit of something called Roost.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
I
the
feel
fact
like,
that those birds
even,
don't get Roost is weird.
Yeah, like, even Articuno's kind of in that camp with it. You just need a couple moves.
The Galarian
That
Articuno
gets recover.
Yeah.
The Galarian.
It gets recover.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about, like, it's got, like, 3 moves it runs, essentially. Like, it feels very, like, Moltres is fine, other than, like, it does what it needs to do. Zapdos is dumb already. You got physically, like, you're strong enough. Like, Moltres, the Articuno, though, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
Cool. Sure. Yes, you get Psychic Freeze. Haha.
Yeah.
Down to end, like, whatever tier you're in. Have fun.
Yep. Pretty much. All right. How about you, Shark? What's your second one?
My second one will be a specific fire type that, for the longest time, didn't even have a stab that would benefit from its high attack, and that would be Flareon. Flareon, for the longest time, was stuck only having, having such a 130 base attack with, only, superpower and, like, Fire Fang. Fire Fang is its only physical stab move. Then in Gen 6, luckily, it got Flare Blitz finally to be able to, actually do some damage physically. But it still doesn't have much physical coverage. Its common movesets are Flare Blitz, Superpower, Facade, and Quick Attack.
Yeah, you could also run Iron Tail if you want that steel coverage, but I don't even recommend that really. Like, it's an option, but why would you do that? It's to yourself.
Yeah, it's got decent special and it's got some utility, but it's just like, just feels bad when you're having to run like Facade, Quick Attack as like your filler moves there. There's just nothing. Like Double Kick.
Yeah. I mean, it does have guts. So Facade makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes sense for sure.
It's essentially like you see it, you know what it's running.
Yeah.
It's really one of those like 2-dimensional ones. Like, okay, like you doubt it's gonna be running Flash. Like, it could run Flash Fire. You definitely could. I just, like, you see it though, you like, oh, it's just gonna be guts. Like, you don't see it as a...
You just protect the first turn, see if it does anything else, and then once the guts boost activates, it's like, alright, now I know.
Yep.
Let's take a moment, though, and pay homage to Gen 1 through 3 Flareon, with its stab attack being based off of its special stat, not its attack stat.
Yeah,
you had that.
That's even worse.
Yeah. Jeez, like, Flareon, it's like Gen 6 was the first time Flareon received any love with Flare Blades, and it still has yet to get any.
The Eons have just gotten rough.
Because then you would like, Fire Fang or even like Flame Charge, which I guess you could see usage. Like, it's got 65 speed, it's slow, so it'll appreciate the little weak hits you're doing that increase its speed.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Flareon.
Yeah, poor Flareon. Wish it was better. I like Flareon, just it's not good. It's so sad.
How about you, Shamu? What's your number 2?
I was honestly gonna say like a little homage to the non-physical fairy type move Tapus that need their little play rough, but
Oh yeah.
now that I think about it more, like Inteleon,
Yeah.
like
honestly,
it's got 125 special attack, 120 speed, but like you look at its move pool, it's just got so much overlap with like water, ice, like I think it gets Ghost Dark, like it's like kind of one of those things where like it doesn't get anything that like makes it worthwhile, like because it gets like you could totally like if it had like another coverage that just was enough to like throw something off, like I don't even know what you would give it, to be honest. I couldn't think off the top of my head, but like it gets flip turn, I assume it gets flip turn. I don't see it on here though, actually.
it does not.
It's not. It's
Well,
got
fine, you get U-turn.
Yeah, it's got U-turn.
U-turn.
It's got a really strange physical pull, but
Yeah, like it's a weird physical move pool. Like it looks like it was like, here, let's make this thing just like the bare minimum for like special, and then let's give it like a very viable physical move pool.
you know, with Icicle Spear,
get, like-
Sucker Punch,
Yeah.
You get Aqua Jet.
Aqua Jet,
You have Acrobatics Aqua Jet.
Scale Shot,
Like, Yeah,
Fell
it gets Scale
Stinger.
Shot. I didn't know it got Scale Shot.
Scale Shot, Fell Stinger, Ice Shard.
Yeah,
Like it's got
Yeah. Ice Shard? Yeah, I didn't know it gets what the heck?
Yeah,
it means it's,
ice,
like,
that actually is
surprisingly
used
good
in
physical move.
VGC. Aqua Jet and Ice Shard are used to proc weakness policy on your own
Oh,
side.
yeah. From its crappy physical... Okay, that makes sense.
It's just like, it gets Sword Stance. It gets Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
Like, it's got a good physical move pool. But you're looking at an 85 attack. It's not really, like, and then you're looking at 125 special. Like, it's kind of one of those things where it's just, it really could,
How
like,
weird.
it really needs more of a stat adjustment. But even then, like, just give it, like, another special coverage that would, like, if it had hidden power, it would probably be seeing play.
It's just one. I think it's one away.
Swap the special attack.
Something is needed, but I
It
don't
needs,
know.
like, it needed more of a, like,
because
Dark Ghost isn't enough to do anything.
Air Slash is
like,
okay.
Ice-
Air Slash is okay.
It's fine. It's fine. It's good for, like, some fighting stuff, and you could see some play. Like, Water and Ice is always solid, you know? Like, that's what you want.
Yeah.
But, like, it
Breaks grasses for you. But,
it looks like
I mean,
it's...
Dark Pulses run as a coverage move standard on the thing, which speaks a lot. Like, if
Yeah.
you're relying on Dark Pulse as your next most reliable move outside of Water Ice coverage,
Yeah.
blech.
I think it's more or less actually more missing an ability or something. It feels like Greninja, but not, like instead of doing,
Yeah.
like, a notch down, they just kind of, like, cut it in half.
All the other starters got something really cool, like Pyro Ball and Libero,
Yeah.
and Grassy Glide, Grassy Terrain. This thing got Snipe Shot? Okay.
Yeah, actually, it
whatever.
doesn't even
Yeah,
have a
like,
good
you
other moves that benefit from it either. It could, if it had something else. Frost Breath.
Yeah, it doesn't get any high crit moves other than Snipe Shot.
That's what it needs.
I don't
That's what
think.
it needs. It needs something to abuse its ability, because obviously Rillaboom is
Yeah,
good because
yeah.
it can abuse its ability with its moves. So that's what this Pokemon's missing. It's missing a high crit special move that isn't water. Just something.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Air
that,
Cutter
just
even.
even,
Air
like-
Cutter even would have been okay.
Mhm.
It's got Air Slash.
Cause even just the, what's it called? Just giving it, like, more of a boost. Like, it feels like this could be the new Critra, but also I think the amount of water holds it back a bit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that's holding it back, including its move pool. Like, subpar ability.
Yep.
Like, sure, Sniper could work if you were, like, more of a crit-based thing. But, like, maybe a Snipe Shot that had like, a damage reduction or something, so the crits would be more worthwhile to go for. And having something that would increase speed or even, like, special attack or something. Like, just something a little more, because, like, really, it's just...
Yeah.
It kind of was like, here, have this fast water thing that has finger guns.
Yeah. Pretty much.
It was just, It just falls flat.
It does. It's kind of a bummer. Oh well. So I'll finish up with my third one, and I'm glad Shark mentioned Flareon, because I'm gonna mention another one that really got the shortest end of all the evolution sticks, and that is poor Jolteon.
Oh, Jolteon, right.
honestly. Because Glaceon's got other problems other than its move pool.
No, it's not. Yeah, no. We kind of talked about Jolteon a bit too, where it's like the Raikou situation.
Yeah. Jolteon's problem, straight up, is its move pool. Like, it would be amazing if it had the moves to go with it. But not only does it just have a barren move pool prior to Gen 8, but a lot of its coverage options got removed in Gen 8, like Signal Beam was commonly used. That was a big coverage move. Hidden Power Ice was the second most used move on it. Like, its moveset is Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Shadow Ball. That's it. Full stop. Like, the last move is just whatever you can fit on there that's a utility move, because it has nothing else in its move pool that's even worth running at all. Like, maybe Hyper Voice is the next most reliable thing scrolling through.
A Weather
that
Ball would
says
actually,
a lot.
I think, something to be running. That would be like the only thing you could do is run Weather Ball with Rain. And have it like a really budget Rain Sweeper, which I don't think is worth it.
But even then, Weather Ball and Rain, I mean...
It's a Jolteon.
It's okay at best.
Yeah, it's not like... You're forcing yourself to run more setup, essentially, to make something kind of work.
Yeah. But I mean, it's got 130 speed. It's got 110 special attack.
It's got stats that it could totally abuse. And it just
on
can't.
paper, it is a great Pokemon. But it just has nothing, which is very common for electrics, I feel.
Yeah, the Signal Beam was a huge coverage option for them, and they losing that and Hidden Power both just neuters a lot of those special ones. The physical ones, I think, are still okay. There's a few that still have some coverage options. Even like Bolton is probably better than Jolteon, just for the fact because it gets play rough and any of the Fang moves.
Well, you got
the
like,
Fangs.
Yeah, you get Strong Jaw and Fang with that, which is solid enough. Like, and you're like, again, like you could always run a weird mix set if you wanted. Like, run it physically, but run competitive, and run like Volt Switch or something, or like Rising Voltage or whatever special move you want as a coverage option or attack.
But yeah, that's poor Jolteon for me. That's my third one. It has nothing when it should have.
Yeah, even ability.
Ugh.
You're looking at Volt Absorb and then the Quick Feet that you wouldn't use.
Yeah.
Because, like, sure, cool, you have an electric pivot, but, like, it has no ability that it could take to abuse. It doesn't have hydration that Vaporeon can abuse. It doesn't have guts that Flareon can at least boost attack. You don't, like...
Yeah, I mean... Volt Switch you can't discount, though, because Volt
Absorb, yeah. No, it's still immunity.
Yeah.
It's still immunity, it's still a heal, it's still good.
And it blocks the switch out.
Yeah, but when you compare it to, like, Quick Feet...
Yeah.
You know, like... It
like, wants a cool hidden.
It's still just, like... You could have given it something else that would be much better, and maybe you could have a different playstyle with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I mean, this is a couple steps off Zeraora. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, like there's the hierarchy. Like, there's a hierarchy with these like electric cat things.
This could be special Zeraora, but it's not by any stretch.
Yeah.
So here we are. All right, Shark, take us home with your last one. What's your last one, and then we'll hit Shamu.
There's a lot to pick from, I think, in Galar in general. But I think I have to make a note of this specific one, and that would be Edelgast, who has such solid stats and a great ability with Regenerator. But its offensive coverage is even worse than like Jolteon's and Flareon's and all that. It's got Grass, it's got Giga Drain, it's great. Pollen Puff, okay, that's fine, that's acceptable on a Grass type, and Weather Ball.
Wow, yeah, it's got diddly squat.
Yeah, it's got worse than that. And the even worse part about it is that when you're looking for a grass type, you want something to be that kind of like, a good defensive check. It's like come in, okay, be a cleric, set up a move, Leech Seed, Substall, something like that. It doesn't get toxic. It gets Poison Powder.
Well, yeah.
It gets Stun Spore. It gets Sleep Powder. Yeah, Sleep Powder's fine, but yeah, there's nothing. There's very little on this Pokemon here at all.
You don't have
I got excited for this too.
Yeah.
Like seeing it in the ads and everything, being a rapid spinner with Regenerator. Like I got so excited for this Pokemon, and then nothing else came from it.
It's lacking the physical, like not the physical move pool, but like the offensive move pool to shine there, and it doesn't have enough support to shine
just
there.
like
so
Dazzling Gleam is like if you just gave it Dazzling Gleam and Toxic, it goes from being like untiered to like, you know, PU or ZU. Like it gets just
Even
something. It gets
Fiona?
it maybe go up higher because of Regenerator, but it just
No.
Just
I got you, boys.
Four?
Here's the strategist. Body press Cotton Guard.
that's absolutely would work.
Dubwool does that.
Yeah.
We could do that here.
Yeah, exactly. Just a big.
Like, I just see that, like, why does it have Spore? It is just a dandelion. It should just have Spore. Like, that would give it a niche.
Spore would
in a
be
tier.
better.
Like, here, have a Spore user.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Kind of, sort of, maybe-ish. Or maybe like a switch-out move, like a U-turn, a
Yeah.
teleport, even. Teleport,
did
it
not
doesn't
have
make
U-turn.
sense
Why
for
does
it.
it not
but
have U-turn?
No,
It
you
should have U-turn, I
yeah,
feel.
but like Regenerator with U-turn, that would be great. It's a freaking dandelion. It can float off back to the Pokeball
Yeah.
or something.
Its tiara list is sad. Just look at it's not. I could count them on both my hands. It's got 9 TRs. And those are the good moves.
Yeah.
Seed Bomb, Leaf Storm.
Ugh. This poor Pokemon. You are absolutely. This is a good one. Because, like, stat wise, it is a good Pokemon. It has the defenses to go with the low HP. It's got Regenerator to regenerate. Like, it's good, but
It needs help.
Movepool is just garbage.
Yeah.
You're like relying to be on a rain team to get a water stab, or a sun team to run fire attack. That's it. That's the only way to get it more coverage.
Yeah, with Weather Ball.
Yeah.
Ugh, gross.
It's really rough. Maybe next generation or something, or next game.
Maybe there's
more love.
tutor moves, something. I don't know. We'll just hope for this little
Yeah,
thing.
access to tutor might be what opens up more for it.
Yeah. We can only hope.
I could even possibly.
All right, Shamu, take us home.
All right. I'm gonna cheat. If you
Okay.
cheated, I'm cheating because
Go for it.
I've got 5 boys here.
Of course you do.
The entire Reggie crew, like minus Gigas, because Gigas actually has a solid move pool. It's just slow
It
start.
got Protect now.
Yeah, it got protect. It got a move. It got what it needed.
Yeah, no,
it got
Protect is so
and
good
it's
on
got-
that thing.
Yeah, like Reggie Gigas is fine. Reggie Gigas did it's good. Like it's fine. But like Registeel is also kind of like it's fine. It can do some stuff. It does more.
It has
than-
everything it needs.
Yeah, like Registeel is probably fine too. Honestly, like Regirock though is lacking a couple things. I feel like it's got enough. It has like Registeel, Regirock. They have enough to do what you kind of want them to do.
Yeah.
But like a crime against humanity is Regice not getting Mirror Coat.
Oh, dude.
yeah, that would be so good.
And its move pool, like, you get Bolt Beam. You get move that you want, sure. But, like, it doesn't get... It has a better physical move pool than a special move pool.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, they have these Regis have a massive stat total. They're very specialized in a way. Like, okay, yeah, Regice, you've got 200 special defense and 100 defense and 100 special attack with 80 HP. It's a worse Glastrier in a way because it's more just bulky and you can't really do bulk with an ice type unless you do it like super, super bulk like Glastrier. Glastrier can work because it's got the huge amount of defenses and the HP stat to kind of back it up. Like,
Yeah.
Regice just kind of like, yeah, you just die to a close combat anyways. It's like, Regice just gets hurt so much. Just, I think it's more typing and stats, but like, again, your move pool is kind of like, it's a very But, like, okay, then, let's go to Regidrago and Regieleki. Like,
yes,
they do something well. They do something well. Sure. Like, yeah, I could run Scarf Dragon Energy. But imagine if I had, like, Scarf Fire Blast. Or
Yeah.
I had actual physical moves so I could run a physical variation, which you do have physical. You have the Fangs. You have the Fangs.
True.
You have Dragon Dance.
But they're coming off a 100 attack.
Yeah, they're coming off a 100 attack with a 65 base. Like,
Yeah.
Regidrago's physical special move pool is Rock, Dragon, Normal.
Ugh. Wow.
Regieleki did it much better. Its special move pool is Rock, Electric, Normal. And
Yeah,
it only,
Regieleki is a meme at this point.
and it gets, the only thing it gets via physical is Dark and Flying via Fling, Bounce, and Acrobatics.
Yeah.
Like,
The
just-
fact that it literally can't touch a ground type effectively.
yeah. Imagine
is-
if Regieleki at least just got Focus Blast. Just imagine if it just at least got
Yeah.
Focus Blast.
Oh.
That would change it so much.
Yeah. Focus Blast makes that. Focus Blast, like, because the biggest thing at wall, like Steelix and any of those ground steals, just a hard wall.
Yeah, you can't do anything to a steel ground. You're sit there like with your twiddling your thumb, you lose.
Yeah.
Or just any ground, really.
Yeah.
But yeah. Focus Blast gives it at least something.
Oh, yeah.
Well, even like against the ground, you can use normal. You've got something there. You can do Hyper Beam, which is a move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the best, of course, but like it really like Regidrago. Give it like 2 more special coverage moves, so that way you're not running 3 dragon moves and ancient power. You know, like because like they're solid. Like yeah, they do their one trick very well. Regilecky's got more of a support ability you can do. Like you can do dual screens and stuff, and some fun cheats with that. You could run normal gem with like explosion, extreme speed, and acrobatics. Like you have stuff you can do with some, but are they viable? Not really. Like. I do think physical Regilecky is a solid mod in a way. Like you can make that thing work. I've made it work. It's fine. But like Drago's more the one that really just hurts because like here's this fun little like treasure with this massive HP, no defense still, but like you have something you could probably make work, but you're just kinda like forced to run this suboptimal weird set. Like I just it's
poor man's Guzzlord.
Yeah.
Really.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's actually a bit bulkier than Guzzlord. But just still...
Maybe. Yeah.
They've got ups and downs, but it's just one of those things where, like, give them a move here, give them a move there. Just give them a bit more coverage. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
You don't need something bonkers, high base power, really, like, at least for special or, like, the move that you're trying to use on them. Like, just, I guess more balance out their coverage, like, physical and special.
Right.
Especially if you're gonna make their attacks equal. Allow them to actually do both. Registeel can.
Yeah.
Yeah, Registeel absolutely can.
Like, you do lose,
got
you don't
75
have...
in both.
Yeah, you don't, like, you're not getting, like, ice coverage that you get physical, but, like, you have different variations you can do with physical and special. Like, there are, like, it's got enough support that works perfectly for it that you could, like, I can run Stealth Rock as my support option. With Regilecki and stuff, like, okay, sure, what am I gonna run for my support? I guess screens, but, like, do I want to run, like, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Ancient Power, then, like, Reflector, Light Screen? Or, like, then, it's just one of those things that's just, though, again, probably giving them, like, an extra coverage move will probably get them banned.
Yeah, honestly. Maybe, especially with Elecki, because it's managed to
like,
hold
I get
on
it.
to being OU.
Like, I get it. Like, they are sensitive, I guess. That's the right word I'm looking for, but, it's a very, like, sensitive.
They're aware.
Yeah. Just...
I do have headcanon that these all came into being when Regigigas saw Ultra Beasts. So he's like, oh, cool, polarize the stats, and then I'll just get some clay, and I've got a Pokemon.
Just imagining Regigigas on a pottery wheel that's like actual size pottery wheel, not sized for it.
Just
so you've got this walking giant like with a pottery wheel just trying to... But yeah, like... Yeah, that's
I think
cheat,
that
though. The Reggies.
That's a good cheat, honestly. And all 5 of them lumped together, they all have the same problem, and it's all very similar. That's a good one, really. And you have a lot of experience with them.
Yeah. It's one of those things, like, I think my heart dropped when I saw Reggie didn't get Mirror Coat, and I'm like, oh no.
I think that's I think all of us have picked a draft team Pokemon. I think we all picked one because we know the Movepools too well. And it's like, we just need one thing, and it would be so good. It would help me in this match. No,
Roost Moltres is coming for your blood.
Like Regirock was like the best one, just because like if I really wanted to, guess what? I'm just gonna run sturdy with red card counter.
Yeah.
Goodbye something. I can't believe that works. I can't believe that actually works. I can't believe like counter red card is viable.
Disgusting.
It's so dumb, and I love it.
Taking notes, I might do some. I might have an idea.
This was the one secret.
I have an idea.
Tech I've had.
Thank you.
Since like day one. This was day 0 tech I had. I'm like, I need to bring this 1 week, and if I bring this, I have to use it, and if it fails, I can't let it go off.
I remember that. I remember you had to quit because you couldn't show it. No,
that was that match because I'm like, I knew what was gonna happen. I could not let it. I revealed the move. I did not reveal the item.
Yeah.
Because if it hit it, the item would have been revealed.
Yeah.
And you could put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It did come a couple weeks later, and I think it went off, but it didn't do enough damage or anything. It didn't
Aw.
It had no wow factor, but it was like, it did trigger, I believe. So it was
Nice.
just one of those things where it's like, it's dumb. You could totally pull a blindside on someone with just counter red card.
Yeah.
Or mirror coat red card, which was what I was trying to do, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think that's where we're going to go ahead and cut it. And since we spent a little bit of extra time this month, not only reviewing the individual moves of some of our hand-picked things that need a lot of love, but also, quite frankly, going over the April Fool's Sprites. If you haven't seen them, they're going to be in the show notes. I'm going to put the link there. But go take a look at them. We're gonna skip the team of the episode because a lot of this was a lot of theory craft for this month, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense to have a team tied to it. So it would be our dream team, which is Zamazenta with moves.
Yep.
But
it would be the special
Yeah.
version of Zamazenta.
yeah, I could tell you the team that I'm going to use when the Zamazenta suspect drops, which will probably happen in the next month. But that just is silly. That's going to take
you're
a long
running Steel
time.
Beam
Plus,
too.
just yeah.
Of
Totally.
Of course.
But yeah, if you have Pokemon that you think need moves, tell us about it in like the Smogon thread or the general thread or something like that.
let us
I don't know.
know.
But also for the suspect tests too that are coming up and the tier shifts and things, we've got the Smogon chat section of the Discord server. If you're not part of the Discord server, that's where all the magic really does happen. That's where we organize all the tournaments. That's where you can chat with any one of us. If you find us, we're here all the time and we're chatting all over the place. I know that I get in the Smogon server to complain about things every now and again, so you can find me there. And we also have a lot of social media things that we'd love to have you follow us on. Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, I think even, and Instagram. We've all got PUCL accounts in all of them, so give them all a follow. You know what's when and when's happening, what, where, why. That's a sentence. And if you're listening here, you're listening on PUCL Plus. Take a listen to us on the regular PUCL feed that has shows every Monday. PUCL Plus has shows every Thursday of a month of varying topics. We've got Battlecast this Thursday, which turned into Friday because Seth Vilo has a lot of things in this particular week in his evenings, so it's a Friday special episode this month. Sorry, folks. But Thursdays are the normal episode release date on that. And yeah. If you like what we do and would like to support us in another way, you can do that through Patreon. We appreciate every dollar spent there, and it all goes right back into the community to make tournaments happen, prizing happen, and all of us have mics that you can actually understand the words coming out of our mouths instead of being garbled messes like they have been in the past. So
Don't forget our Twitch streams where we stream weekly.
yes. Oh, thank you.
Yes, where we stream weekly on different things,
I knew I was
including Pokemon of the episodes from the main show where there's be VGC or BSS.
Yeah.
And I would think in probably about 2 weeks from when this episode drops, P. McGee will be playing some Showdown potentially, exploring the new ladders now that probably once the tiers kind of mellow down a little bit. Maybe there's a Zamazenta suspect test at the time. Who knows?
Fingers crossed. Shark, thank you for keeping me accountable on your first debut episode. I knew I was forgetting something and I couldn't put my finger on it, so I just improv the end. Whatever. But anyway, I think that covers everything. We hope you've enjoyed the show. And with that, I have been Seth Vilo.
I've been Shamu.
And I've been Sharkfinnigan.
And we'll see you guys in, what's May? We'll see you guys in May.
May we see you in May.
May we see you. It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May.
It's closing time in Lavender Town. Time to say our goodbyes. It's closing time. Farewell, my friends. I'll catch you on the flip side.